Mining was established on the Zambian Copperbelt at the early part of the 20th century. By the mid-1950s, it was booming in the post-war period. And in the first decade after Zambia's independence, after 1964, this boom allowed the new government to increase social spending. So you had, and in the Zambian Copperbelt, you had relatively high levels of employment. There was significant spending on schools and other public services. And so mine workers and mine workers' families who lived in this setting had what one would describe sort of as increasingly a sort of middle income way of life. But then you had the oil crisis in the 1970s, followed by a debt crisis, which led Zambia, as other African countries, to begin the adoption of structural adjustment policies, which were effectively austerity policies. So for mine workers, about 2/3 of the workforce was laid off in this region. They had to figure out new ways of life. And women here became the key breadwinners. And so what you had was the expansion of an informal economy with people sort of trying out different modes of living. So while these kinds of DIY or do-it-yourself economic activities were perceived as, oh, it's great, people are increasingly becoming self-reliant, they're organizing their livelihoods, and people sort of, writing about this sort of creative entrepreneur. And it was, of course, creative and entrepreneurial, but it was also effortful and really sort of full of hardship and struggle. And it sort of underpins the absence of any social safety net and welfare protection.